Alright, let's get this party started. There we go. Right into it. Hey guys, how y'all doing? I know I'm a little bit late today. I just kind of decided to take a extra snoozer after work today. I guess I was a little bit tired. Haven't honestly been feeling the best, but you know what? Here I am. Here I am for you guys. I almost completely forgot exactly what we were doing today. Because I even had it written on my schedule, but whatever. Same as usual. More PS2 demo discs today as we kind of prepare for the rest of this week. Honestly, if I didn't get up, if I didn't get out of bed any earlier, or any later, I probably wouldn't have done this today. Which ones are we doing today? We are doing 53, a summer sampler, and I actually did download a couple extra ones after that I didn't want to look at. So, probably still in the late 2001, early 2002 swing of things. I know there's still a couple more from that era I've got to check out. So, sorry, just get this situated. I revitalized the layout of things here a little bit. I was testing out a couple PAL games as well too. What was this one game called? Yeah, Ghost Vibration that I want to check out that wasn't released in the US. Maybe we'll get to that someday. So I got that. I reinstalled Worms 3D and I got that one working. So yeah, so here are the demo discs. This one, and I downloaded a couple more. There's something that's interesting. There's a winter 2001 demo disc and there's a holiday 2001 demo disc, and they're both like, one of them's a jam pack, but like the other one I think is just direct from the underground. I'm not sure exactly like what the difference is between the two, if there are any. I might have to go on diff that someday. I was going to add that one today, but I think because we've already looked at the winter 2001 demo disc, it's not necessarily much of a reason to do the same one twice. If there are any demos, I might just give it like a quick half-hour look at best. So yeah, we got this one on board. The summer sampler. So yeah, another one. So there was a summer 2002 jam pack, and there was a summer sampler also released in 2002. I think we're gonna look at this one first today. And the last one that I also added is some of the later PlayStation Underground magazine demo discs kind of overlap between PS1 and PS2. This is why, you see 49, 51, 53, 55, because I think like 48, 50, and 52 were on PS1 or PS1 demo discs. Because this was like in between the transition from like PS1 to PS2. So kind of just duly noted for that. Let me check something real quick. Alright. Anyways, let's get into the meat and potatoes of what you want to see. Because this is probably 2001, 2002 or so. Who's willing to bet that Jak and Daxter is on this one? Let's see what the creepy CGI lady has to say. Oh, I forgot to, maybe it'll work.
Hey there, welcome to Casa de Maggie. I thought I'd kill some time doing what I do best.
I never actually considered to remember what her name was, if she had one.
You're probably wondering what we've got jammed into this issue. First, we went up to Electronic Arts in Vancouver to see how SSX Tricky was coming
EA
along.
Vancouver.
After watching this segment, be sure and check out the demo in the vault. Then we
Okay,
asked the
demo
producer,
for
Matt
Tricky again.
Shonstall, to show us what it takes to make a US version of a Japanese game. If you ever want
Whitewashing golf?
that
sounds promising.
Then the PlayStation 2 could be your instrument of choice.
So killer, dude.
Check out our segment on frequency, and maybe you can develop those.
Oh,
chops you never knew you
frequency.
had.
Yeah, I've heard of that game. And Blitzball from Final Fantasy X.
For those diehard RPG fans, the development team at Square gave us a sneak peek at Final Fantasy X.
Are we getting a playable demo of Final Fantasy X on this one?
Well, I've got a few more demos to try in the vault, so I hope you don't mind letting yourselves out.
It's
Happy gaming, and I'll see you next issue.
a bit of a dirty euphemism, but okay. Honestly, also kind of thinking about it. Turn this down a little bit. Honestly, also kind of thinking about it. As glad as I am to finally start playing these demo discs, it kind of wears off the novelty of having every single one at my disposal. Like, I could just go down the list and add all 60 whatever of these underground demo disc vaults that they have. Versus, you know, when these released monthly back in 2001 and so on. I guess kind of like the novelty was waiting or in anticipation of, you know, every month you get a new one in the mail. But like, now that we have the internet and everything, you can just kind of download these as whim. I guess that's kind of what killed demo discs in the first place anyways, but let's see what we got. Oh god, no. Batman.
I chose to play the game. It didn't choose me.
I did not select this demo. This just happened to come up. Okay, good old Tiki Barber. Haven't heard that name in a while.
I knew drugs, even weed, would get in the way.
Wait, this is a drug PSA? Why of all things would you have this on a PS2 demo disc?
Football, my anti-drug.
What the fuck?
Now I'm the teacher.
They still had anti-drug PSAs in the 2000s? God, that's such an 80s thing. Alright, I guess if Derek Jeter is telling you about the ratings of games, why the hell not this guy? Alright, Grandia 2, okay. This is a Dreamcast RPG. It was a Jade Cocoon 2. Target Shadow King, seen that one. Might have seen that one. Yep, Tricky's back. Final Fantasy X. Is this actually playable? Oh my god, a actually playable demo. Ooh, Wrath of Cortex. Yes, yeah. Okay, I did download another demo disc that has, that should have this demo on this, so we'll save this for last. But thank god we're finally at the point, where Time Splitters 2 is a playable demo. The PS2 Half-Life. Okay, I might have to check that out. Batman Vengeance. I think this was a launch title for the GameCube? Was this also on Xbox? I know for a fact this was on GameCube. Pro Skater 3, okay. And Splashdown. Alright, some decently solid stuff here. Let's go around the horn. What do they got for downloads? Capcom vs. SNK. Is that SNK 1 or 2? Lovers Run 2. NBA Street. Alright, that Capcom vs. SNK 1. Forgot there was a Smuggler's Run 2. Celebrity Gamer. Good lord. Alright. Couple stuff here. Let's see how they Americanized golf. Granted, I do love the series. Oh crap, it might have crashed the PS1. Yeah, probably because it didn't set the thing on. Yeah, let's reset that real quick. I mean, I hope to God I can still play it. Yeah, I forgot to set it to better loading. Some of these demo discs need that. If not, then I guess we're just not going to learn about demo discs. Again, the compatibility, I think I fixed it a little bit with the new OPL update, but it's still a little dodgy. Not that I really have the means of getting 60-something demo discs. Some of these demo discs go for a little bit. Like where is it? This Underground issue 5.1, because this was the last one in that set. That one went for like $50 or something on eBay. So, where is it? Hopefully we don't have to listen to Tiki Barber again. That was weird. That caught me off guard. Alright, so this is 2002 then. Oh, God, I thought that was unskippable. Alright, let's see if that fixed the issue. There we go. Hot Shots Golf. Which one of these was online that I added? I think I added 4. So there was 3 and there was 4. Probably also doesn't need to be said, but fun fact, the first one of these games on the PS1 was developed by Camelot, the Mario Golf devs.
Talked to Santa Monica Studios producer Taku Imasaki about the process of bringing Japan's most popular golf game to the U.S.
Hopefully it's loud enough.
Hot Shots Golf is originally made with the Japanese market in mind. It's a huge game in Japan. Therefore, it has the art style.
Santa Monica Studios. I believe these are the guys who produced the.
So we realized that we had to do.
Are they the producers of the bigs?
In addition to translating the text and voices, we have to come up with different art style for the characters.
In Japan, the game has an art style that borrows.
No, they developed God of War.
Anime.
Up till now, there have been lots of golfing games with realistic characters, and there are still such games. But that felt too much like a golfing simulator.
I want to feel like a couple of these games were Japan only. Like in Japan, the series is known as Everybody's Golf.
Incredibly hard to enjoy. So for a game style that would be fun no matter who was playing it, we went for anime-style characters, not realistic.
And during Hot Shots Golf,
But like this series went on to the PS3, the PS4. They might still be doing these.
Really not familiar with that art style, and we decided to come up with our own characters.
Of course, you know, this being the early 2000s, the
so it would appeal to a wider audience.
Japanese art style isn't going to fly as well. Yeah, they did one in for VR.
Course of coming up with new wacky characters.
And there was one on PS4 in 2017. Yeah, this series is still going strong. You know, it's good to see that the PlayStation had this while the Xbox had Outlaw Golf.
Both the Japanese and American versions have incorporated a brand new game engine that's improved the old features and created some new ones.
Rain looks more like rain, and wind.
I don't mind a decent golf game here and there. I'll play one if, you know, somebody tells me to. I'm not good at golf games. Like I've only really learned how to play Golden Tee on PS1, and that's because the controls are so simple.
It gives you a really nice on the golf course type of experience.
I can't putt for shit.
It seems like there's an incredible amount of work that goes into bringing a Japanese game to the U.S. We wondered if Hot Shots was a typical localization.
With localization.
The degree of localization in this game, I would say,
As
is
such,
much heavier than other localization titles. For instance, role-playing games are always just pure text translation. However, with games like Hot Shots Golf, the gameplay as well as the character appeal is the essence of the game. This
How
game
many
is huge in Japan,
players does this
and,
support?
I bet they have a much harder time creating a sequel that surpasses.
That, and despite, you know, it being Sony, it's a golf game. It shouldn't go for much.
Love this game. They're expecting something much better for Hot Shots 3, and my goal
Like,
is
I wouldn't imagine this game going for anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks. Golf for the people. The People's Republic of Golf. They're going to unionize over golf. By the way, I did see the news that a lot of Sega America employees unionized today. Bold decision. I wonder how that goes. Like, what's going on at Sega that they need to unionize? I kind of have a negative connotation with most unions. It's like probably some internal drama. Usually, if you unionize, you're out the door anyways. So that's just new in recent news. We'll see if that applies. Frequency. I did learn about this game. This game interests me.
Have you ever dreamed of being a rock star, performing killer songs to the roar of a crowd? Well, Harmonix, a Boston-based developer, has now made it possible.
Harmonix, the Guitar Hero guys.
Get ready to hone your skills on the world's newest musical instrument, the PlayStation 2.
Frequency is a revolutionary rhythm music game that will convert gamers into musicians and probably a lot of musicians into
No, the Rock
More
Band
than
guys.
anything else, Frequency is a game about
No, they
making
do Guitar
music,
and
about
Rock
playing
Band.
music. We've really tried to turn the game controller into a new kind of musical instrument that players need to master in order to beat the game.
We think there's two things that really separate Frequency from a lot of the other music games that we've played. One of them is that since it's a multi-track environment, you
Amplitude
get
was
much
the other
more
one.
deeply
Yeah.
involved into like the fabric of the music because you're listening to each track individually and you can hear what each one does. The other thing that's different is a big part of the game is the remix mode, whereby you can take all the components of the song and put them together pretty much however you like to make your own remixes of the songs that we have in the game.
Again, I'm not good at most rhythm music games, but this one was
by
fun
using
to
the easy
check
to learn
out.
controls, you'll be making music in no time.
The gameplay in Frequency is like Tempest meets Dance Dance Revolution, where you're actually traveling down a tunnel
Yeah, remember when
of
DDR
music,
was relevant?
and you choose a particular track to play, which is a particular instrument, like drum, bass, voice, guitar, and you have to press the buttons to the rhythm of that particular track to
This game
complete
4
the track.
players?
Visually, this game is quite different from any of the preceding music games in that it's an intense visual overload experience. We're trying to capture rave-like intensity with the visual experience in this game, and that's really never been touched on in any of the other games.
Picture yourself going down a tube or a tunnel that's got 8 sides, and each one of those sides has a different instrument on it. So one of the sides may have a kick and snare track. One of the sides might have a bass track. One might have a guitar.
Yeah, I'll be damned, it is 4 players.
The key to a music game is having great songs, and Frequency has
No
one of the best
doubt.
lineups of artists ever assembled for a video game.
In terms of the music,
I'm
instead of
willing to
just
bet the
using
soundtrack is
kind of
very
backdrop
far
video
aged.
game music, we've actually
Or
gone
what
out
was this,
and
2001?
licensed a bunch of great kick-ass music from some fantastic bands, and so the music that you're playing in this game is
Yeah,
real
no
music
doubt
by
of all
top bands
things.
that you've heard on the radio, and not just what people normally think of as video game music.
The roster of artists who've contributed songs to Frequency is one incredible compilation. No Doubt, Powerman 5000, Fear Factory, Low Fidelity All-Stars, and Orbital all have songs in the game. And many of the songs were written for the game or are custom remixes you can't hear anywhere else.
Sony asked us, gee, is there any
I'd
bands
like
that
to
you'd
hear
have
the
in
sickest
game?
remix of
And,
I'm
Josh,
Just a
the
Girl
music
by
director,
No
said,
Doubt.
Gee, what about Curve? I wonder if they'd do a track. They're not a huge draw in the U.S., but they were sort of pioneers of electronic rock in the early 90s, and I've always been a big fan. They did a custom track for us in 2 weeks, and we were thrilled. It came out great.
One of the artists who really surprised me was DJ Qbert. I didn't know what to expect from him.
The first time the guys came to me about Frequency, I was like, okay, cool.
Like, how many of these guys, I mean, they're probably way past their prime, but like, how many of these guys are still even around?
This is really cool. I was pretty
Also,
stoked
them
that
being musicians, how many of them are still
playing
alive,
Frequency
for
and
that matter?
scratching. It's kind of like the same type of energy, sort of, because when I scratch, it's free and you're totally like, having fun. And
This is kind of cool that, unlike Guitar Hero, I don't think you need like a special controller to play this game. I think you can just rock everything on the
Out of control
PlayStation 2
in the game.
controller.
But frankly, during the
I
development,
have
every
PS2
time
Guitar
we
Hero
made a track
controllers
with
that I
these
was
artists,
playing
there
with
was
Clone Hero
always
for a
some
while.
Excitement through the office because everyone was so psyched to get their hands on a new song.
Getting such an amazing group of artists involved in the game was a big challenge for the developers at Harmonix.
When we first started calling around to the artists and their management, I mean, their curiosity was definitely piqued. But it wasn't until they actually saw the game that they really started to get excited about it.
So killer, dude.
One of the biggest hurdles was just actually setting up meetings with these people, just actually getting access to them. Because once we did, everybody saw like the potential of it, and if at all possible, they wanted to be a part of it.
I first heard about this game.
Reminds me of the music maker on the
He told me that
the
they were
Xbox.
working on a music game. He kind of gave me the rundown.
There was a
of
couple
what
of
he thought.
music maker
you guys
games
could write
on
a song, or we could take a
Xbox.
song from your record, and the person playing it can actually remix it. They could almost create their own track out of it. And I thought that was a great idea.
In addition to the music that the bands have provided for the game, they've also provided some imagery, either short video clips or pictures, and we take that imagery and use it in the game world. So in the arenas, there are these large billboards, and actually those video clips and pictures get splattered onto those billboards so that as you're playing, for example, the No Doubt level, then there'll be images of Gwen Stefani.
I think this game would also work pretty well as like a Japanese, like one of those Japanese arcade music games, like My, the washing machine game, or like what's the other one, Sound Voltex.
But each song you can play in a number of
those
arenas.
type
And the
games.
arenas are essentially visual backdrops for the tunnel that you fly through. They've got sort of different visual themes to them. As you progress through the game and beat more and more levels, you unlock more and more arenas until if you win the game on Expert, you've unlocked all 8 arenas.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to be good at this game by any
You're trying to beat enough
means.
patterns to stay alive to get all the way through the song. Multiplayer is a little different. In multiplayer, you're actually trying to get more points than your opponent, and you have various power-ups and ways of kind of beating your opponent down. It's kind of similar to a, sort of a kart racing game in that way.
There's a lot of flexibility.
You know, it also reminds me of there's a mini game in Mario Party 3 where you're like racing through a tube and you have to
After you
you're like going up on all the sides of the
you can also
walls
go in and kind of
and
jam along with
you have to like
it.
hit
You can
these
just kind
booster
of
pads
improvise.
on them. That was in 3, I think. It was a
Like
dual
going
mini
solo,
game.
going in over everything. Or there'll be a scratch track where you can go in and scratch over the samples. You can just kind of add your own beats over on top of it. You can recreate what's done, and then you can kind of add your little signature on top of that. When you go into remix mode, you can basically just start from scratch and do your own version of that song.
As they worked on the game, the developers realized that they were making something completely new, turning a video game into a musically creative experience.
I think the idea behind Frequency from the developers was to give people who didn't necessarily have the time or the ability or the skills to write or produce music, to get the enjoyment of actually creating music.
I'm also
I think it's
wondering,
gonna appeal to a lot of
because
different
there's a
people for everything,
Half-Life
'cause everybody
demo or
loves music.
trailer or whatever, why didn't they give an
Everybody's
in-depth look on a Half-Life on
One
PS2,
of the
like
things we figured
porting
out
the game
was
from PC and
there's just millions
Dreamcast
and
over to
millions of kids
PS2.
with really good video game skills for which they get no real credit, but it's a real skill. So the high concept that we came up with was, hey, let's build a game that allows you to express yourself musically with a skill set that you already have, namely playing video games.
So what we've really tried to do in this game is present an experience to the user which looks and feels like a video game, and they can use the skills that they already have as video gamers to get inside it and master it. But at its core, it's a game about making music, and they realize once they're into it that what they're really doing is not playing a video game so much as playing music.
Yeah, what's that game going for these days? Yeah, Frequency and what did I say the sequel was? Amplitude. Frequency is, yeah, 10, 15 bucks. It's worth a pickup. If you can find it. See if I found this. Let's see what's beating the tricky. I never really played a lot of Tricky. I kind of stuck to SSX3. Like there was first one, there was Tricky, there was 3, there was On Tour, there was a Wii one, like an exclusive one to the Wii, I think. And I think they remade it for like the PS3
After almost a
360.
full year of playing SSX, we felt that we were ready to hit the slopes ourselves and put what we learned in the game to good use. We were wrong. While nursing our bruises, we were glad to hear that the folks at EA Canada had spent that year working on
Canada.
SSX Tricky.
SSX Tricky is the world of SSX a year later. The world circuit.
Of course, if anybody could produce a great snowboarding game, it has to be Canadians, right?
6 of the original riders coming back and 6 new riders joining the season as well. We've got 2 new venue locations, and all last year's stops on the tour are back as well.
Over the course of the year, you can expect a normal mountain, a real mountain, would have some considerable changes. We tried to reflect the same kind of thing in our courses, but we also did a lot of deliberate work to try and make them
And the beer's already down.
really enhance the show-off aspect of the game as well. Give the player a lot of opportunity to pull more tricks.
Well, we couldn't wait to get our hands on the game, so the first thing we checked out was the new tracks.
I think by this point on Xbox, Amped and Dark Summit was out.
We wanted a much more forgiving first track.
And then Dark Summit was also on GameCube.
Big drops, very fast speeds, with very wide.
In addition to however many snowboarding games there were on PS1 as well.
To kind of get their bearings on the track.
We tried to make it easy enough for the first time
I
user.
am losing a couple frames today. I wonder what's the issue.
And certain elements that
I apologize if it dips in frame quality a bit.
user as well. We have a huge drop right off the bat. It's about 300 or so meters free fall. So yeah, it's a great new track.
Not only are there new courses to explore, but a whole new crew of riders to choose from.
Out of the 6 new characters we've got, Simon is probably one of my favorites. Last year I felt we had a lot of, pretty mainstream sort of characters. This guy brings a real element of danger or unpredictability.
No, I don't think I have I don't think I have SSX1 on PS2. I could probably add it. I mean, nothing's stopping me.
Luther Dwayne is a good old boy, and he thinks he's
A
quite
good old boy.
His sheer size.
But his mother loves him very dearly.
His attitude.
And you really just try and make sure that your biggest visual cues are going to come across, particularly from your rear view, which is.
We'll check out this demo today. I think
looking at the character's butt down a hill all
I
the
think I
time.
passed stuff on Tricky a little bit. I should check out the game again.
Luther Dwayne is probably a good example of that. He's got quite a sizable crack showing in the game.
One of my favorite new characters is a character that's been described as kind of dorky cool. His name's Eddie Wachowski. He's got a red afro. Upon physical first impressions, you're kind of going, what a dork. After you kind of get a little bit of a sense of
What,
his
and the
dialogue and his
3 other
delivery,
characters that we didn't see weren't
he's
already
not so bad.
nerds as well?
He's just got his own style, his own thing going on. Eddie's voiced by David Arquette.
You're not really
Oh.
me, are you? Just kidding.
And that was a huge contributor to the overall
Okay,
sense
why
of
not? Because
Eddie.
Friends was still on the air at this time.
Besides David Arquette, other celebrities that were involved in the game included Lucy Liu,
Lucy Liu.
Billy Zane,
Buddha, wax your way to victory.
Oliver Platt, and Macy Gray.
Look at them shoes.
Okay, you won me over with Lucy Liu.
The surprising thing
Why not? One of the Charlie's
was
Angels.
that a lot of them were familiar with the game and had actually played it quite a bit. David Arquette was quite familiar with it. Macy Gray plays with her son.
Don't sweat me, don't sweat me. Look me over, check me out.
A lot of them sit in studios and voice over movies that they work on anyway, because all that stuff has to be redone after they shoot it all. So they're used to sitting in a studio and reading scripts and really putting a lot of effort into how they deliver it. So it was pretty neat to see, actually.
I got what you need right here, baby. Let's ride. All right, let's go. Yo, what's up with that?
The improved character development is not only in the
Right.
voiceover, but can be seen in the artificial intelligence.
We found that in last year's game, the pack separated reasonably quickly, and you didn't really get much of that passing people in the corners because you typically only had one guy off in the distance and maybe one person behind you. So with the 6 riders that are on the field, we worked out a much more tight racing environment.
Canadian bacon.
The second aspect of it that I'm really quite excited about has to do with the aggression AI. Last year we had a little bit of random probability of other riders getting a little physical with you. This year we've created a real dynamic environment to that. So they react to you based on your pre-established relationship with them as friends, enemies, and neutrals.
With no friends in the lineup, you better be careful out there today.
These characters know each other. There's animosity.
How does that work?
Alliances and other.
I mean, for a
You put your
PlayStation
friends
2
around,
game.
They're gonna ask you what's going on. They're gonna talk to you. You push your enemy around, and that guy's gonna come after you. He's gonna kick your butt down the hill.
Each one of them has a tolerance and an aggression value. The tolerance has to do with how many times you hit them before they react. There's 3 levels of reaction. One is a verbal response, the second is a little bit of a physical and verbal response, and the third level is a seek and destroy response.
Dude, that's pretty unique for an early PS2 game. The only other game that I can think of doing that is when I played NASCAR 05. Like, there's usually a guy or two that you can be intimidating to, and it kind of like gives you a hero, like a hero or a villain arc rank. Just kind of determine who you are based on who you interact with.
Software that we use in house, which enables us to take music and make it change depending on events driven from the game. When we get the songs for the game, we go, actually what we could really use is your multi-tracks, and we remix the multi-tracks to give us a couple different levels of intensity on the song. So the high level would be like the standard tune that you're hearing, but if you're boarding really bad, what you mostly get is like a guitar riff or the bass. And so the software actually changes this all up like on the fly. So this interactive music software that we have is this like state of the art. I mean, it's changing the music every bar depending on how well you're doing.
The interactive music is definitely cool, but what really makes you feel that you were in the game and not just playing it is the fact that the audio is in 4-channel surround sound.
We spent
Right, what does that mean?
How to do DTS surround.
So
Could you explain that in English, please?
You've got borders coming in from behind you. They'll start.
Okay, high quality sound effects. That's
Back, or if you hit something, it'll fly.
that's
by
worthwhile
you
for
and
PS2,
sound
right?
fly in full theater style sound. Once you start listening to DTS digital.
Oh yeah, and the
go back to stereo.
one theme song by Run DMC.
It's really immersive. It's like you're in the
It's
middle.
been no back around, no back around, no back around. It's tricky. It's tricky, 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 tricky. It's like the one thing that anybody would remember from this game.
But at least we're in top physical condition for another winter on the SSX circuit.
Not an easy way to play PS2 with a finger splinter, but okay. Alright, I might already have to drink that beer. Yeah. Stand by, watch Final Fantasy while I go drink this beer.
Simply put, the Final Fantasy series has been the most successful and innovative in video game history. The games have captured fans by always staying on the cutting edge of technology and storytelling. Final Fantasy X is no exception. As usual, the game has a completely new storyline and a new combat system. Recently, we went to Japan and talked to the team at Squaresoft to find out how they're keeping the series fresh.
Final Fantasy X takes place in a big city called Zanarkand. They play a fictional sport called Blitzball there. The main character is a popular player in this sport and comes to a place called Spila to play. When he tries to return to his hometown, he meets many different people. And
It's sad to see that like the only thing I really care about that I know about in Final Fantasy X is Blitzball. Like, had Blitzball just kind of become its own standalone game, like with how many Final Fantasy VII spin-offs there were, and I just also recently learned that Final Fantasy VII had like a snowboarding scene in it. Like if there was just like a Final Fantasy VII snowboarding standalone game, like there was like Chocobo Racing or Air Guys, then yeah, I'd probably just buy that instead of just playing the actual full game.
that other companies hadn't done. That was our main goal. Independence is the main theme for the story. Independence from society or parents as you grow up.
Really, this is a coming-of-age story?
This time we're introducing the count time battle system instead of using active time battle, which we used in the previous games. In this system, the player can stop time during any part of the battle. Then the player
Yeah, and then one of the Lord of the Rings games just completely stole this for their RPG.
by seeing which monsters are going to attack and which characters will be able to attack. I want the player to enjoy the strategy of the game. For the hardcore gamers who enjoy the battle scenes, we created something called spheres, which you receive by attacking monsters.
This item allows your character to advance more quickly. For example, when you damage a monster 1.5 times more than his hit points, you can receive more spheres. This way, the game maniac can be satisfied by rewarding them with faster-going characters.
Praising to be on deaf ears, though.
For the normal player, if they memorize the monster's characteristics, they can finish the battle scenes quicker. That's what we were considering when we created the battle system for this game. We took into account both audiences. By the end of the game, you will have 7 characters in your group, so we gave each character a special skill.
A flyer! That's your department, right? Why don't we let our summoner show us what she's made
The most Final Fantasy games only let you play 4 at a time, though.
Nothing to
Like
fear,
3 or
the
4.
hero's here!
I want the player to think about each character's skills when you battle a strong monster, so you know which character should fight against which monster.
I'll be honest, if I'm gonna play like any of these kinds of games on PS2, I'm not out of the question. I might try Monster Hunter, because I know Monster Hunter started on
They
PS2.
usually like magic attacks, but this time when you summon a monster, they stick around and fight alongside you.
Most of these games, I know, I'm not going to appreciate or enjoy it as much as anybody else would.
So I thought that the player might enjoy seeing them in a battle scene. The graphics and designs are much better this time, so the game has a greater impact. A new element that we introduced is an event scene. You will usually see these when you are fighting with a boss. So for example, you can fight on top of a flying ship or the edge of a cliff. We use a special situation to start a battle scene so the surrounding elements become part of the battle. The graphics and the camera work will change depending on the situation. This gives the player a more cinematic feel.
In the Final Fantasy series,
Was Hironobu... He probably was, but like, was Hironobu Sakaguchi still with Square working on Final Fantasy at this time? Because usually those guys leave after once in a while.
But this time we also use some rock and roll sounds to give some scenes a harder edge.
Yeah, imagine playing Final Fantasy and all of a sudden fucking Aerosmith comes blasting on the soundtrack.
There's a song in Final Fantasy X sung by a folk singer named Riki. She lives on an island south of Japan called Amami. We asked her to sing the main theme song in Final Fantasy X. She has such a great and beautiful voice that we're not going to translate the song into English. Even though the American audience is not going to know what she is singing about, they should grasp the feelings and emotions she is trying to get across. I'm looking forward to see what you think about it.
As is most of us who listen to Japanese city pop, myself included.
Right after finishing up production on Final Fantasy VIII, we had a meeting to discuss adding voiceovers to match the beautiful images we could create.
Hey, not this way.
And
We all know the T just laugh.
And DVD quality, we have a lot more room to store things, so that everything, including the graphics and sound, can be better.
We called it sin.
The most surprising thing that I experienced in LA when we were recording the voiceovers was that all the actors came to the studio in the morning without any information, and they started right off the bat. And they performed perfectly. In Japan, we requested that all the actors in a scene be in the studio at the same time. But in LA, we recorded each character separately. I was worried how it might work out in the beginning.
That's kind of the standard with most voiceover work in the West, from what I've known. That's how it was for the Mario movie, from what I remember.
Fantasy VIII. We didn't use it that much in Final Fantasy IX because the characters weren't designed to be lifelike. In Final Fantasy X, we used motion capture almost all the time to make the characters seem real. Now that we have the power of the PS2, we were able to have better definition in the battle scenes, with smoother movement and facial expressions for the characters. I really appreciate that we could show these details. Also, we can transition between real-time and full-motion video smoothly now, which makes me really happy. The most challenging part was, well, actually there were a lot of challenges.
Oh, you
particularly
think?
getting the details of facial expressions and the movement of hair and clothing. The time it took for a scene depends on the complexity of that scene. The shortest time was 2 to 3 weeks. Most of the time, though, it takes about 1 or 2 months. The longest scene we rendered took about half a year.
With all the work that's gone into it, Final Fantasy X is sure to blow away longtime fans of the series. And
It's
new
amazing
players
to see
alike.
how much they worked on this one. It almost felt like Final
So
Fantasy games were becoming a yearly release.
The story of Final
Like Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
X is really
7 was
interesting.
97, and then 8 was 99,
I want to
and
encourage
then, you
all
know,
the
9
fans of the
after, and
series
then
not to
this
give
was,
up
what,
and
late
play all the way
2001.
to the end of the game. I think you will enjoy the ending.
Never mind, The Spirits Within was also in development in theaters at this time. So working on a whole ass CGI Final Fantasy movie. Alright. Trying to bounce out audio. Anything interesting? Oh, that would have been nice to know.
Hello, my name is Nathan from the TIP Team and Consumer Service.
Yeah, when we played the Eco demo and I had no idea what the hell was going on.
PlayStation 2. The problem we have here is getting across the large chasm by the giant windmill. I'm going to show you how it's done. Take a look. We see the chasm directly ahead of us, and the lever we need to reach on the other side. To get to that lever, we need to travel to the top of the windmill, and in doing so, we need to leave the princess here because she can't make that trip. We'll go ahead and travel around the pond here over to this small staircase, or what's left of it. At the top of the staircase,
Yeah, this would have been very nice to know the last time I did this.
so we'll take the hard route up. Climb up this ledge and shimmy over to the right. And once we reach the other side, we will find 3 more ledges directly above us. Go ahead and climb up all 3 levels until you gain your footing on the final larger level. Make your way to the other side of the tower, turn around and face the windmill blades. We want to jump to the center of the windmill blade and grab on the post there. And we want to shimmy to the right.
Fuck, how am I supposed to figure this out?
Nice and slow so you do not lose your grip. Make your way to the top. And once you get above the structure, go ahead and press your triangle button to jump away from the windmill blade. Now we've made it to the top.
This is just the beginning of the demo.
It's pretty easy sailing. Just follow the path, past the save couch there.
Save couch?
Along the wall.
That's how you save in this game? Just taking a nap on a couch?
Idle doorway that we will return to once we get the princess. Down to where we find the lever. Go ahead and press your circle button to pull the lever. And you'll see a cinema of the bridge emerging from the wall. Now it doesn't go all the way across, so we need to jump down to the bridge, slowly travel to its edge, go ahead and press your R1 button to extend your hand and help the princess across.
Like Christ on a stick, how am I supposed to figure this out on my own?
From there, you can travel back to the idle doorway. The princess will work her magic, open the door, and you're one step closer to escaping the castle. Now that you've seen it done, go ahead and try it yourself. Good luck.
Yeah, if I ever get back to that demo. Yeah, that would have been good to know, like, a month ago.
Hi, my name is
Portal
Jesse
Runner.
from the Video Company, and today I'm going to show you a cool move for Portal Runner for the PlayStation 2. In Portal Runner, it's very important for the player to obtain 100% of the gems collected in every single level. This opens up bonuses and Easter eggs later on as you finish the game. Let me show you how.
I've heard about this game, I just haven't really looked into it myself.
Gems are. You can find gems just sitting out on the ground, just like this. However, if you collect all of them, you'll notice that it doesn't add up to 100%. However, there are certain things that you can do to find the secret areas that generate gems. In this level, there are 3 piñatas hanging in the air. Shoot every single one. and it opens up the secret gems. Stand on the portal, and this will help you get...
When am I ever going to remember to do this, though?
However, the key thing to remember throughout the whole game is that there are many things in each level that you can shoot, and it will generate secrets.
Like, what exactly is this game about again? If anybody
If you see
knows.
something in the level that you can shoot, shoot it. This will be helpful for you to get 100% of all gems collected within the level, and this will open up Easter eggs and bonuses later on in the game.
Like, I've only really heard of Portal Runner kind of in passing. I haven't really decided to check it out for myself. More tricks for SSX Turkey. This seems like it's a thing in, like, every one of these demo discs.
Expanded, and I'm working on SSX Turkey. I'm going to take you guys through a couple of Eddie.
See, the Canucks were in the playoffs at that time.
So we'll go right into the game here.
It's good to see.
First thing you'll notice is that
Did they burn down their city, though, when they lost?
That means
Because that usually happens when the Canucks get to the playoffs and lose.
X to max out the jump, hit R1, and then square. So that was the hand-to-hand air booby trick. So the key is always just to keep landing the tricks. You'll always maintain your adrenaline bar being maxed out, which is what you want. As long as
I'm a total button masher when it comes to doing tricks in most sports games.
again, here's holding down L1.
I'll try that out if there's a playable demo of Pro Skater 3. Which, you know, I have Pro Skater 3, so...
And that's the way to do sweet tricks in SSX Tricky. Enjoy.
Perfect, I bet none of that. Alright. Alright, who's this asshole? Wayne Brady? Wayne fucking Brady? No way! Okay, let's see how this goes.
Whole acting thing and getting your own TV show, this is merely to supply me with the money for my video game Jones.
Wayne goddamn Brady.
I'm not like, oh, I like Miss Pac-Man. No. Slam it, shoot it, power up, kill. Twisted Metal Black kicks all kinds of butt. Dark Angel, nope. Motor
I hope to God he remembers doing this.
Love to be, you know, like 7 foot tall. I'm able to turn invisible with a cloaking device. I've got guns and a shotgun or something on my arm. That'd be dope. NBA Street, that is my game right now. I would so dig being a video game voice.
All right, and now the aggro crag. Player 1, victory.
So if anyone's watching and you want
Yeah, I know.
video game,
Why this with all the filters?
call me. I just pimped myself out. Stop, Wayne. Shut up, girl. I mean, it's a horrible choice. It's like, tell me that I can't eat, but you give me $1 million.
Does anybody remember he had his own
Just
show?
a burger, and let's call it a day. Come on, Shaq. Show him. Fake out, alley-oop super combo. I'm a huge geek. I've got nice clothes because of the show, but I'm a huge geek. I crown myself winner of the game. Thank you for playing, buddy. Watch the Wayne Brady show.
What the fuck was that? Wait. Oh my god. If anybody runs into Wayne Brady, please remind him that he did this segment for once. Oh my fucking god, that was so good. Oh god, that was G4 quality levels of great. Alright, we're almost getting into the demos. Calendar. Text. Super Bowl 36, I think. Oh right, I remember they were talking about that, especially for last time, like where they brought up PlayStation 2 truck to the Super Bowl. The 989 sports truck. That should be fun, alright? The locker room chat. Like, what is all this crap? That's it. Yeah. Is there any merch for sale at this time? No, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Oh, no, not Tiki Barber again.
I chose to play the game.
Oh my god, I don't want to watch this. Thank you. Why was that required to watch? Where is it? Let's just go right into tricky because they want me to play this. Grab, jump. Okay, so the D-pad is the trick controls. My hands are all greasy. Fucking greasy.
EA Sports.
Welcome to SSX.
I might have actually used to have this game, but I think I sold my copy.
Up for World Circuit. Practice. Single event. Select character. Who do you want?
Alright, another thing where they only give me 2 guys to choose. Eddie, let me go back to my home. Without me, everything's all wrong. This should be fun, just based on what we just witnessed.
Select event. Select difficulty. Garibaldi.
Garble. Grab. Flips. And I shouldn't have braced up this controller.
Go! The best way to leave you a message is to write one on my back! Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rozo. You're welcome to Garibaldi. You got a trick to boost. Good times, Dean! Woo!
Every one of these snowboarding games has different controls.
Oh, baby! Nothing personal, just winning! Front side 360.
There we go.
Forward flip. Player 1, making a move to the back of the bus.
I've already forgotten most of the controls anyways. Hey, bud. Why is there a timer? Did they not give us enough time to finish the race?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rozo. You're welcome to Garibaldi.
Yeah, I mentioned it was pretty fun getting these like once a month in anticipation, but now that I've kind of, now that I've got the internet in my hands, I can just download these on a whim. It kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. But I'm sure these were quite a novelty back in the day. God, one of them speaks Japanese.
Front side 360. Backward flip.
And now I'm doing better. Right.
one, you've got the top spot.
Yeah, a couple of these games, I mean, we just played Zone of the Enders, but a couple of these games have kind of convinced me to check out the full game at some point. I think, and I don't want to spoil it, but I think like the next game I might check out, based on one of these demos, is Tail Concerto on PS1, because that game had a lot of charm. You ever play Tomba? No. Yeah, why is it that we get to this point? No, I haven't played that yet, but I might have played the demo once. It's a good one to keep.
Welcome to
Let's see if there's anything else in this demo.
Select mode. Select character. Elise.
You certainly know how to pick a winner.
This is the one voiced by Lucy Liu, right?
Select show off.
Oops.
Garrett. Snowdrip. Elise. Snow.
Alright. Spin. Surplus. Of.
Go! Welcome to Snow Dream Japan. Tricks equal boost. Go! This is a snow dream. Bronze those thumbs. Combo!
Play on actual disc? No, this is a hard drive on my PlayStation 2.
Backside 360.
No, yeah, you're fine. Oh my god, how do I get out of here?
Backside.
I have all these installed on my modded PS2.
Welcome to Snow Dream Japan. 2 times multiplier. Backside 180.
I just had like 8,000 points.
Go! This is a snow dream.
It would help if I understood how to play this game. Like most sports games I'm terrible at.
Go! Welcome to Snow Dream Japan. Genki Kai! 50-50 rail. Front side 180. Back side 180. Front side 180. Back side 180. Yeah, that's a good trick. Big combo. Front side 180.
Okay, at least get 10,000.
Not doing the same old trick over and over. They're running out of time. Bonus times 2.
Damn it. Alright, I think I'm done here.
Welcome to.
Let's get back to the rest of the show. There's plenty more that I want to check out. Might as well just go into Prosecutor 3 if it's right there. This is playable. Oh, no, it's just a trailer. Like I said before, this is actually one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games. We might have actually already checked out the trailer. But this is one of the games that I usually popped out my PlayStation 2 for. I still frequently listen to this game's soundtrack as well too. I never really saw many people playing this online. I forget if it had System Link support. It might have just been online, but out of any of the Tony Hawk games that I did play online on X-Link Kai, I played Underground a lot. Wrath of Cortex playable? Thank God. Yeah, I've been meaning to check out Wrath of Cortex at some point. I know Kyle has some sort of history with this game. Like Spyro, Crash kind of really peaked on the PS1, and it never really got as good on PS2. The later PS2 Crash games are just absolutely weird, like Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant. Hopefully this doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth. Konami worked on this one?
A Universal Interactive Studios production. Developed by Traveler's Tales.
Oh, yeah, Traveler's Tales did work on this one.
Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex.
A whole 2 levels. How joyful. Alright, let's see how Traveler's Tales carried the torch over from Naughty Dog. Let's see if I even remember how to play Crash, since I haven't played since like last June, right? Just don't have to get any gems or crystals in this one, right? Just not for a demo. Oh. Good. I still consider this game to be the real Crash 4, by the way. Like, despite, you know, there's Crash 4, what is it? It's About Time. I mean, even Japan if you play the Japanese version, it straight up says Crash 4 on the box. And hell, the next game after this is Crash 5. This should be fun. Oh, that's great. I didn't mind my playthrough of Crash Bandicoot, it's just the first game definitely showed its age and difficulty. Where am I going? Oh. Okay, never mind. I guess I guess it was on the timer. That's great. Let's play the other demo, but I didn't realize that this was on a timer. Okay. Just randomly sent me back to the main menu. God, what is there to load? It's a demo disc.
A Universal Interactive Studios production. Developed by Traveler's Tales. Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex.
Is this one of those ones where you have to ride on a pig or a hog or something? Or a polar bear cub? Usually these Crash demos have that. I know Crash 3 had a bunch of those. Oh, no, this is... We're playing Super Monkey Ball, okay. Also, ironically enough, Traveler's Tales developed Super Monkey Ball Adventure, the game that basically killed the franchise. Or nearly did. Also kind of reminds me of a couple segments in Billy Hatcher. Interesting level for a demo. I probably skipped a couple boxes, but whatever. Where am I going? No, go back. Okay, so you do have to collect crystals in this game. That's fun. Bring the crystals to Cortex again. God, I'm terrible at that. Yeah, do not ever expect me to 100% a Crash Bandicoot game, because I will not. Yep, lost it. And I'm assuming that's the end of that demo. Alright, what else do we have on this that I can shout out on? Final Fantasy X demo is actually playable. You know, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, but I will be right back and we'll check out more of the vault. Alright, stick around, we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hold on. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's kind of just go down the line. They're labeled them around it now. Honestly, I'm gonna sound elitist in saying this. I think Grandia 2 is played way better on Dreamcast. For the one of two staple RPGs on the Dreamcast, this being, you know, this game and Skies of Arcadia. Despite them not really being Dreamcast exclusives, like Skies of Arcadia is on GameCube now. I feel like they're better played on their respective consoles. I mean, not to say that the original Grandia was much of an exclusive, that it was originally on Saturn, but, like, what exactly is the merit in playing the PS2 version over the Dreamcast one, is what I'm probably trying to say. But, like, when I think of Grandia, I usually think of this game and I usually think of the Dreamcast. Like, yeah, there was Grandia 3 and other games after it. Like, if I'm gonna think of a series that kind of correlates to this, like Suikoden. Suikoden, I don't think was on anything else besides PlayStation. But yeah, Suikoden is usually synonymous with PlayStation, and then that went up to like 5 or so on PS2. These games are done. these games are dime a dozen on PS2 anyways. Yeah, we just played the demo for Jade Cocoon 1 on PS1. I didn't even realize that there was a second one. You know, Corgi told me that he likes this game. I didn't mind Jade Cocoon 1. It's just... It's not my speed, guys. I'm not an RPG buff by any means, so I would rather give this to someone like Adam, who would definitely appreciate these kinds of games better than I would. There were a couple like launch title even PS2 RPGs, I think by FromSoft, that kind of intrigued me, that I might check out someday. Are these both done by Ubisoft? We got out later. We're not gonna play all of these. Did that. Yeah, Batman Vengeance. Was this even on Xbox?
And drop him in the tree. Any questions?
Oh my god, that's Mark Hamill. Yeah, it was on Xbox. Came out like a month after the Xbox launch, though. But this was a launch title for the
city on the brink of chaos, where one evil falls, vengeance shall rise.
I'll be honest, most PS2 Batman games have not held the test of time. This was kind of in a dark age for Batman. Like, Batman had great games on Super Nintendo and Genesis, and then they pitted in between PS1 and PS2, and then they got good again with the Arkham series. I should know, considering if anybody knows me, I played through Batman Dark Tomorrow as one of my first games on the stream. And oh boy, 3 years later, I still have that salty taste in my mouth. But if you're gonna play any of these, I would probably recommend Vengeance. Vengeance, and then... How does Rise of Sinzu hold up? It's probably a little bit mixed, but... Yeah, there was Vengeance, Rise of Sinzu, Lego Batman. I think Lego Batman was somewhere around here, so... Lego Batman 2 was 2012. Okay, yeah, so there was a Lego Batman 1 on PS2. Lego Batman's kind of fun. Alright. Let's get into the one that's intriguing me the most. Oh my god, it's actually playable. Alright. I'm gonna tell you this. I love Half-Life, but if I'm gonna play this game, I kind of want to play the Dreamcast version. Considering the PS2 version is basically a direct port of the Dreamcast one. I've never actually played this with PS2 controls, though, so... I feel like the PlayStation 2 controller is better suited for Half-Life than Dreamcast. I mean, do not play Dreamcast Half-Life with the Dreamcast controller. Just play it with the,
Here you are. We just sent the
Oh, we're already here.
test chamber.
If you're gonna play Dreamcast Half-Life, play it with the keyboard and mouse.
105%. Bit of gamble,
Oh, good. Hold on. Can I... Fetch toggle. On. Ouch.
Need the extra resolution.
That's better.
The administrator is very concerned that we get a conclusive analysis of today's sample.
Again, I also realize that, you know, console Half-Life is by far not the most optimal way to play. I realize that, you know, console Half-Life is not the best way to play this game. Just play it on PC or play any of the remakes of this game that there are now. How many times has Half-Life 1 been remade? There was Black Mesa, there was Seven Co-op. Like, it's gotten a lot of engine changes. Like, there was Half-Life Source as well. Okay, L1 is jump for some reason. But yeah, this game feels so much better now. It's got twin sticks. Okay, triangle's flashlight. Like, the Dreamcast controller, because it only had one stick, and, like, one stick and the face buttons, it didn't have enough, and only one set of shoulder buttons too. It didn't have enough buttons to utilize everything. That's why it felt so much better to play this on with a keyboard and mouse. So it's got me a little bit into Chapter 1, I think. I've played about a third of Half-Life. Like, I haven't fully completed it. It's not a long game by any means, if you know exactly what you're doing.
The most unstable. Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine. I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely Gordon doesn't need to hear all this.
This game is a little bit expensive on PS2, though. I mean, the last time I checked, it was like $25 or something. Yeah, no, it's $50 now. This is a $50 PS2 game. Is it worth picking up? I don't know. Kind of interesting thing about the demo of Half-Life, or relating to demo discs. If you have the retail version of Half-Life on PS2, one of the later demo discs, I forget exactly which one, but like if you insert a demo disc, or like hot swap the discs or something, you can play like a hidden mode. What am I talking about? Let me...
If you would be so good as to climb up and start the rotors, we can bring the anti-mass spectrometer to 80% and hold it there.
Yeah, I mean, because I've played most console FPSs. Yeah, the Half-Life Uplink demo is on the PS2. Yeah. With demo disc 57, I think? The PlayStation Magazine demo disc. June 2002, so whichever one June 2002 is. Yeah, Half-Life Uplink was a demo. It was like a demo of Half-Life. And there might be a couple of like unused content from this version of Half-Life. Yeah. The only notable map changes are replacement of the original brush. But like, if you hot swap one of the these magazine demo discs with the retail version of Half-Life, then you can play this like hidden demo version.
Overhead capacitors to 105%. It's probably not a problem. Probably, but I'm showing a small discrepancy. Well,
There's been a couple kind of beta versions of Half-Life that have come here and there.
that the sample is ready, Gordon. It should be coming up to you any moment. Look to the delivery system for your specimen.
Right, Kyle went off to do his But yeah, there's tons of Dreamcast Half-Life prototypes. Oh, down there. You go down there.
Standard insertion for a non-standard specimen. Go ahead, Gordon. Slot the carrier into the analysis board.
Alright, let's fuck shit up.
Get away from the shutting down. No, attempting shutdown. It's not shutting down. It's not
And let's watch the fireworks fly. Yeah, guys, it's been almost 20 years since the Dreamcast Half-Life leaked online. Most of us, by this age, kind of know how Half-Life goes. I'm wondering how much of this demo, or how much of this demo is playable. Still, for 98 on PC, this was a technical marvel. As far as the golden age of, or the golden list of games that came out on PC and consoles in 98, this might be the best PC game that came out this year, or that year. Probably beating out Grim Fandango. Okay. That was a good time to quick save. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The Dreamcast version save feature is a little bit bugged. In that, like, if you die, it normally takes you back to the beginning of the game or the beginning of the chapter versus having a quick save. I don't think there was quick saving on PS or on Dreamcast. So you were kind of prompted to save more often than not. And it took a while. The load times in between each section happened a lot.
I never thought I'd see a resonance cascade, let alone create one. Gordon, you're alive. Thank God for that hazard suit. I'm afraid to move him and all our phones are out. Please, get to the surface as soon as you can and let someone know we're stranded down here. You'll need me to activate the retinal scanners. I'm sure the rest of the science team will gladly help you.
I will say, though, it does look a little bit better on consoles. Or at least the models do.
Let's go.
The models look a little bit better on consoles than they do on PC. Given the 3-year difference between, you know, PC releasing and consoles. Oh. Yeah, the load times were very far off, and then they loaded a lot on Dreamcast. Alright, R1. It's taken me a little bit to get used to the controls. But because I'm kind of an expertise in most FPSs, I can handle this. Just checking out if there's any extra life. Oh wait, I came this way, didn't I? Yes, I did. I just have to use the shoulder buttons to navigate around. Alright, that looks a little different than the Dreamcast version. Always switch weapons. Oh god, how do I switch weapons? Lovely. Yeah, see, if I died there and I didn't save, it would just take me all the way back to the beginning of the chapter in the Dreamcast version. Let's end with this. Wait, what? How did I get here? How the hell did I get here?
Hello, sir.
Alright. I still got to play Half-Life 2 on Xbox as well. Yeah, where did I get all these bullets from? Jesus Christ.
Secure access transmission. Soldiers arrived, and they're coming to rescue us. I doubt that we'll live long enough to greet them.
I can do this, right? I know there's definitely plenty of speedrunners of the PC version of Half-Life. Is there anybody who speedruns the Dreamcast or PS2 versions? If it's even feasible. Oh, no. Okay, we got more. They're just randomly sending me around to different places.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out! Oh my God, we're doomed!
It's just... Ah, right, this again.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out!
What am I doing here? I should probably save. It's gonna take me all the way back here again. And I put a lot of time into this one demo disc.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out!
Go. I said I was an expert at this game, right? Somewhat. Never said I was the best at defense, though. Come on. I'm probably just gonna get to the end of this Half-Life demo, and then we're gonna switch to the next demo disc. But I do want to check out the other one as well. I'm not doing the best. I love how they're just frozen in place and just magically disappear. Oh shit. How am I supposed to hit this thing? I do here? Fuck, what do I do here? Think. Not like I could just shoot it down, right? Oh, nope, never mind. I guess my time's done. Didn't even let me have a chance. Alright, was there anything else worthwhile on this demo disc? Or have we kind of covered most of it? Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, let's move on to our next demo disc. God, we spent almost 2 hours on that one. Well, if we spent that much time, that means it's a decent demo disc worth of content, right? Somebody's gonna need to manually reload. Alright, so the next one is from later that summer of 2002. I don't remember exactly what was on this one. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show so far. I didn't have the most motivation starting into the stream. I almost didn't even get out of bed after my nap, but I think, I think after getting through a couple of these, I'm doing a little bit better. It's hard. I've kind of just been battling myself and figuring out what exactly I want to do with the stream versus kind of diving fully into retro content because I don't have a lot to work with. I've been screwed with a lot of people about this. So, which one was it? This one. Grab that one. I'll figure something out. It just takes a lot of time. A lot of time that I don't necessarily have. Alright. What exactly are we doing? Is this a commercial for the PS2? No, it's just trailer. Because the last one was part of the PlayStation Magazine, that was kind of more focused on like the actual extras. Every other one of these demo discs is focused more on the games themselves versus bulletins and everything. That Hot Shots Golf again. Yeah, like I said, Jak and Daxter, Final Fantasy X. Those are kind of the staple games that you'll see around 2001, 2002. So, I feel like this is more focused on the games of the vault than the actual, behind the scenes stuff. If there is any. I like how usually every one of these has their own kind of like unique layout. Yeah, so there's some behind the scenes stuff, demonstration. Well, they give you a little bit of a taste. Let's see what was going on behind the scenes for summer 2002. Medal of Honor. Okay. Starfighter. Oh, Jedi Starfighter? Which Medal of Honor came out 2002? Is it Frontline? Because the Medal of Honor I played was, the one that I played as a kid was Rising Sun. That came out late 03. Yeah, I think this was Frontline.
Back in 1997, legendary director Steven Spielberg charted a new course for video games when he met with a team from DreamWorks Interactive.
I would have liked to play the first Medal of Honor on PS1, and we just never got around to it.
He was like, I'm working on this movie called Private Ryan, and I've been playing GoldenEye.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan.
So, why don't you guys do World War II GoldenEye? And, it started from there.
That was the beginning of the wildly successful game called Medal of Honor. Since then, the team has produced 3 games in the series. Now, working under the umbrella of Electronic Arts, they've finished the first PlayStation 2 title in the series, Medal of Honor Frontline.
Yeah, Allied Assault was the other one. That was on PS2, or that was on PC this time.
Frontline is one complete storyline, and it takes place between the 3rd and 4th mission of the original Medal of Honor. You resume the role of Jimmy Patterson, and the general goal, I guess you could say, of Frontline is you will steal a prototype jet known as the Ho-9 fighter.
I kind of miss Medal of Honor. By missing Medal of Honor, I mean this one. Versus, when they tried to reboot the series and compete with COD, and that didn't work out. So, long before COD became the king of FPSs, this was the golden standard.
And it's basically a flying wing. It looks
like
a stealth bomb.
World War II shooters, at least.
You'd be surprised at some of the technology that came out of World War II that just seems so far-fetched.
While our scenario on Frontline is fictitious, it actually was captured at the end of the war and is now seeing restoration so that it can be included in the Smithsonian exhibit.
In addition to the Ho-9,
I'm sure they did a lot of research on
Frontline is meticulously researched.
on World War II by this
I
game.
think that people definitely get a feel for what it was like to fight in those locations. We do an extensive amount of research, both.
They probably do more research on these games than what most World War II FPS games
God love the internet. We
do
just
now.
Went through the internet and just kept typing
The
in
internet.
various things we were looking
The early
for. And
2000s internet.
There's a lot of enthusiasts out there who collect authentic items, and they'd have these photographs that just gave us a huge wealth of reference material that we can look at and say, oh, that's what it should look like when it's not new but weathered and worn. We wanted to give them a little bit of grit to them.
Watching movies, we get ideas like the whole Nijmegen Bridge scenario is loosely based off of some stuff from A Bridge Too Far.
There's a team of climbers who are rogues who go around and illegally climb structures and take pictures.
You know what's a movie I have in my VHS library that I've been meaning to watch? Has anybody ever heard of this movie called 30 Seconds Over Tokyo? It's an old World War II movie. Came out in the 40s. But I saw it one day and I've been meaning to watch it. Yeah, 30 Seconds Over Tokyo.
Jimmy is dropped into Holland with 2 other comrades, That whole environment in the Dutch pasture is based on a trip that my
Yeah,
mom
it's about,
took
you know,
to
American
Holland
attacks on
and
Japan
visited a
after
number
Pearl
of
Harbor.
museums and took over 1,200 photographs, and they ranged from the architecture to signage to cobblestone road textures to all sorts of material that once
That might be fun to watch if we ever get to Rising Sun at some point. Might do Rising Sun for its 20th anniversary, because that's coming up in November.
This is on my too. Yeah, he looks.
Another way the Medal of Honor team immerses you in the game is by working hard to give each character a unique look.
In terms of enemies in Frontline, we run the gamut. We have over 300 different variations of characters in the game. So our goal is that every time you see an enemy in any given level, they will be different from the other enemies you'll see.
Came out.
We've got certain technology that we're using.
This was May 2002 on PS2. This came out on Xbox and GameCube later in November. So, quite a decent lineup of FPSs later this year. We had this, Time Splitters 2, 007 Nightfire, Metroid Prime on GameCube. If you want to count that.
And come up with even newer pieces.
When did Red Faction?
We went for as many different individual characters as we could per level.
Yeah, Red Faction 2 was later on PS2 this year, in 2002.
In creating so many unique looks, the team found inspiration from many different places.
One of our character designers, in designing the faces and the face textures, actually designed maquettes.
I do have Call of Duty 3 and
sculpt them out with
the PS2 version of World at War on this PS2 as well.
Light it, and then photograph it and use that as the base. And then from there, once it's mapped on and he's satisfied with the way it works on the
I'll be honest, at the time, especially going back to Rising Sun, I thought the graphics didn't hold up as well, but that's because I played the GameCube version. The graphics might not have held up as well, you know, visually wise, but it mostly more pertains to the gameplay.
I keep thinking that I'm seeing various people around the building in the game. I think our lead sound guy is throughout the game. Our marketing director, I think, is in the game at certain places. And sometimes, you know, if you're having a bad day with that particular person, you go to the game and just start firing away at them. It's really good therapy sometimes, but don't tell them that.
And it's so funny to think that, you know, long before Call of Duty, I mean, Call of Duty actually did start on PC in 2003. But long before that series started, a lot of people were getting their inspiration for World War II shooters from here, of all things, and now Clive Barker's Undying, Jesus. But like, you know, now that the series is kind of dead in the ground.
Because we thought, hey, you know, we don't have to reuse the assets
from generation to generation.
We can actually give him a torn shirt. We can put a burn flash on his apron. We can give him a black eye. We can do all these things.
Unlike many current games, there's no motion capture used in the Medal of Honor series.
We made a decision not to use motion capture again in the very first game, and that kind of defined our Medal of Honor tradition. We key animate everything, we hand animate everything, and it's something we take a lot of pride in as well. We do a lot of acting.
Not a lot of games do that anymore.
We're constantly seen running around in the hallways with video cameras and with weapons. In fact, we try to be careful if there's a door because people outside could see these guys running around with Tommy guns and all that. In fact, we try to even get a bazooka, but somehow they wouldn't let us have it. I still don't understand why. And the reason is we get into the skin of the characters. All the animators do that.
I'm glad that these are on multi-platform as well too, so it's like it's not necessarily exclusive to PS2. Maybe if it was exclusive to PS2, I'd probably appreciate it more. But you know, me personally, I'd probably play this game on like Xbox over the 3 consoles.
And the cool thing is that you'll see different performances by the same character.
Like I have Rising Sun on Xbox now.
So it's always organic. We don't have the same.
Might have sold my copy of Rising Sun on PS2, but I think I had the PS2 version, and then you know I had the GameCube version growing up as a kid. GameCube version was 2 discs.
In Frontline, there's a scene where you infiltrate a Nazi pub, and there are about 20 Nazis in there. and there's about 4 or 5 guys playing cards at the table. There's a couple guys at the bar. There's a couple guards back at the door. There's another table of guys chatting to the side, and then there's a piano player. You can't get past the guards at the stairs until you do a little something to get the piano guy to play a little tune, and you get all the guys singing, and then you can head off to the back of the pub where there's another distraction you cause back there, but you're all weaponless at this point, and so it's a little bit of a puzzle there.
In your race to capture the Ho9,
I think they're using the
you find
same
you have an enemy who
CRTs
stands
that
above
I'm
the
using
rest.
now, the JVC art.
A character named Albrecht von Sturmgeist, and he is a big baddie of the game, and he's the man in charge of the Ho9's production. And so one of the first things Jimmy is told to do is to track this guy down, and we want him to be a compelling character who's pretty bad and eludes you pretty much till the end of the game.
In gameplay, we want to make him feel more like your equal and not like he's so hard that he'll take a bazooka shot to the head. And we really want to get that idea that he's more crafty than he is just, you know, some super badass.
You're definitely going to have to use both your brains and your arsenal if you're going to help Jimmy Patterson steal the Ho9 in Medal of Honor Frontline.
So, how many were on PS2? There was Frontline, Rising Sun, Infiltrator? Infiltrator was a Game Boy Advance one. Pacific Assault was PC. European Assault, I definitely know was on PS2. Yeah, European Assault was on PS2. Heroes was on PSP. Vanguard was on Wii, I think. Yeah, PS2 and Wii. And then Heroes 2 was on PSP and Wii. So. Oh my god, they actually did another Medal of Honor? I thought they just did Medal of Honor 2010 and then Warfighter. Oh, there's a VR one. Yeah, there's a VR Medal of Honor called Above and Beyond now. Huh. I guess the series technically isn't dead. Alright, let's see what they're doing with, I think this is Jedi Starfighter. We either played this one or we played the other one.
This spring, the latest movie in the Star Wars series, Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, will hit movie screens. And as Star
Jedi...
Wars
Oh god, they mentioned Attack of the Clones. Yeah, remember, 2002. So, Episode 2 was just out on its way. So, Clone Wars. Jedi Starfighter. It was better than the original one. But, I mean... Kind of saying, early PS2, Xbox, GameCube Star Wars games weren't necessarily the best. I mean, Rogue Squadron 2 was great on GameCube, but they didn't really start getting their footing until a little bit later on, like right when KOTOR came out on Xbox.
And of course they meet, and Nim's kind of the Han Solo, skeptical of the Jedi religion, all that stuff.
A Jedi? Ready? Are you insane?
I'm here now. You might as well let me help.
Fine, but no lectures and no Jedi.
Yeah, this is another one of those Clone Wars era games.
Well, to begin with. And of course,
I mean, Star Wars Clone Wars. I had that as a kid too.
Nim realizes that she's very valuable.
He's a pirate. He's unpredictable and.
If anything was the best part to come out of the prequel trilogy, it definitely was these games, anyways. Like some of the games are just straight up better than the movies.
He starts to believe in the Force when he sees how powerful it is in the hands of a master Jedi.
We have 4 force powers total, and we dole them out through the game. So you don't have them all at once. You can learn one at a time and kind of master it until you get the next one.
We have Force Lightning, and I think that's my personal favorite because if you see a bunch of ships flying in together and you time it properly, you can take out all of them at the same time, which is pretty awesome.
Another fun one is Shield. It acts like a normal shield, but if you get what's called a Force Clarity, the shield will not only reflect incoming lasers, but it will redirect those lasers to any target of your choice.
The third power is Force Reflex, which slows down the entire game world, but the Jedi stays at the current turning rate and fire rate. So it's supposed to kind of simulate what it would be like if the Jedi had enhanced reflexes. And the last power is Force Shockwave, and that simply emits a large destructive force from the player in a kind of an expanding sphere, and just deals major amounts of damage.
Contact me!
Because of the complexity of the
Look
Star
back
Wars
to the
universe,
feature
the
poster.
game developers at LucasArts have a very close relationship with the creative team at Lucasfilm.
Because we're making a game, we need to get access to all of this stuff and shots of scenes.
I think
and
Bounty Hunter was also near
They're
this,
really good
at
to
this
work
time
with.
too.
They do have more involvement than one would expect. They review all of our game designs, anything that goes into our game. They do take a
Yeah,
look at
Bounty
it.
Hunter
Even
was
down
out
to
later
making
this
sure
year
that the
too.
lightsabers
I mean,
are right
Bounty Hunter and the Clone Wars were my two childhood Star Wars games.
George understands
I might have played one of the Lego Star Wars games on
making
Game Boy
games
Advance
and
as well,
making movies.
but
He
it was
understands
Bounty
what
Hunter and Clone
take
Wars
these
on
characters
GameCube.
and the situations and vehicles and apply them in a slightly different way.
The story of the Star Wars prequels is moving closer to the classic Star Wars series. We wondered if the design of the various ships were moving in that direction as well.
The first thing that we realized when we saw the design for the Jedi Starfighter is that it is already going toward classic Star Wars. You have the cross between an A-Wing and a Star Destroyer. Basically, it looks like a mini Star Destroyer.
Shooting star to New Moon. Do you
But
copy?
the lines are starting to be blurred between classic Star Wars and the prequels for sure. I mean, all the designs are saying that.
One of the new features of Jedi Starfighter is a two-player mode that can be accessed in every mission.
In Starfighter 1, we actually had some hidden two-player modes that you could unlock. With Jedi Starfighter, every single mission can be played either in single-player mode or in two-player mode.
I heard Rebel Strike also had a decent
We wanted to go as far
decent
as possible.
multiplayer.
And a lot of us are big fans
Rogue
of
Squadron
cooperative
3.
play, kind of sitting on the couch with your buddy and hand the controller over, and you're both in the same mission. You're both calling out orders to each other. You know, come get that. You know, blow that up. What are you doing?
You could play the first 5 missions in two-player mode, and then friend goes home and you want to keep playing, you just keep playing right on through the game in single-player mode and switch back as often as you want.
I had a lot of fond memories of playing
There's a ton of
Clone Wars
exclusive
multiplayer.
materials in the game that should keep fans busy for a long time.
We have 10 bonus
Jango
levels.
Fett.
We have 11 bonus movies.
We have 9
The Bounty Hunter himself.
You can unlock everything from an X-Wing to Jango Fett.
Okay, that might be an incentive if I could play as Jango
We have
Fett.
a team commentary video.
My initial designs were to have gameplay that go and take you all across the moon and stuff.
We have a sneak peek at an upcoming game that I probably can't say here.
Yeah, there it is, Bounty Hunter.
And a bunch of team photos, concept art, all kinds of good stuff.
How was that? If you like, I can do it with a little more je ne sais quoi.
There's a lot of outtakes in Bounty Hunter that still chuckle me to this day if you manage to unlock them.
So look for the things that would make you feel like you did it really well, like to eliminate all the fighters instead of just enough to finish the mission.
Star Wars fans are some of the most hardcore fans in the world. We wondered if their intense interest has any effect on the LucasArts team.
I think when you design a
Well,
game,
we certainly miss LucasArts, that's for damn sure. Most of us are kind of negatively receptive of what Disney has done to this franchise.
they're gonna let you know.
At this point, I would kind of just like this franchise to just end before it gets any worse.
There's a huge responsibility because people love Star Wars. We love Star Wars.
Like, anytime I hear Star Wars in the news, it's something that they fucked up versus what they praised about. A lot of people just straight up didn't even like the sequel trilogy, or at least the later 2 movies.
Master Yoda extends his gratitude, Master Galley.
Like, I don't mind the prequels, but they definitely have their place for me personally over what Disney has done with this series now.
Call the shots.
Of course. And may the force be with you.
Hopefully we get a Bounty Hunter demo at some point. Alright, that's the end of that. Before we get into the real meat of this, let's just check out what else is on here. I know it's late. I know we started out late. We'll try to get around to the 3-hour mark. State of Emergency. Boxing game I never heard of. Oh, just those two. The State of Emergency one might be useful. I don't know if I'm ever actually going to use any of these. I just figured out how to transfer saves from my PC to my PS2 with the USB stick. So, anything new and noteworthy for the summer of 02? Threads. The DVD case. Kind of cool watch. Just those two. Comic-Con, maybe. Yeah, like I said, there's not much really behind the scenes for these kind of smaller demo discs if they're not part of the magazine themselves. Or Jak and Daxter. Might as well. I told you Jak and Daxter would be here somewhere. I've already gotten all the power cells, but I'm wondering exactly which one this is.
Hard to reach power cell in the level volcano.
Yeah, I got all the power cells. I just kind of missed like a couple of orbs.
In order to get to this hard to reach power
Yeah,
cell,
that one.
head back into level spider caves.
Yeah, if anybody goes back and watches my Jak and Daxter playthrough,
right here.
I kind of struggled to figure out how to get this one.
And work your way into the level spider caves. What we're looking for right now is a yellow eco vent.
I barely got this one in time.
Right here to get up to the cliff. And carefully work your way across the moving platforms. Climb up this cliff right here to get to the yellow eco vent. And what you're going to want to do is race all the way back to the volcanic crater before the yellow eco runs out.
Yeah, you do not have a lot of time to do this.
As you can see, once you fire the yellow eco at the block, the power cell will be dropped down to you. As you can see, it can be done. It's not easy. Practice makes perfect.
It took me like 2 or 3 tries myself to get that one.
You'll get it.
Alright, what else is there? Look at some Pro Skater 3 stuff.
I'm a quality assurance analyst here at Sony Computer Entertainment America. I'm here to do a cool move on the game Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. During this move, I'm going to show you how to access.
Were there any of these demo discs that had Pro Skater 3 on them? Because I know Pro Skater 1 and 2 definitely had demo discs on PS1. I mean, the Pro Skater 1 demo disc was straight up part of the Pizza Hut demo discs series.
To the round blue neon sign. You got to start from this position right here. Find the wire, jump in the marquee.
I'm not that skilled enough in Pro Skater 3 to even do
Once
this.
you hit the 2 wires that hold the circle neon sign, it will break. So once you knock down the circle blue neon sign, you want to jump inward on the 2nd level. Once in there, you can access the ramp that goes to the secret level.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I mostly just use cheat codes and passcodes to get exactly what I wanted in Pro Skater 3. Just play around. I tried as much as I could for playing.
Hi.
Oh, this is the one where you have to collect the flags on the rails.
Computer Entertainment, and I'm going to show you guys a cool move for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. What I'm going to do is show you guys a really great spot to score a lot of points and a shortcut to get there. Okay, from the starting position in the airport, you want to jump over the baggage claim shelf to the right and follow the conveyor belt.
I do remember this
to the
secret.
baggage claim area. once you get to the baggage claim area, you want to get onto these rails, which will take you into a U. You just follow around it over and over, doing special tricks, special rail slides, special manuals, until your multipliers are up to about 80.
80?
If I happen to accidentally fall off a rail, I just trick into a manual until I get back to the rail and hop back on, and just continue this until I either A, think I'm gonna
Guys already got 1,500,000 score.
and just want to land. And there it is. That's how you score over 2 million points in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 in one run.
Alright.
Hi, my name is Brent.
Remember, there were no manuals in the first game. They didn't introduce these until Pro Skater 2. So why is this guy wearing such a heavy overcoat
How to score massive amounts
when he's inside?
In order to do this trick, you have to be far enough along that you've unlocked perfect manual. You jump up, and then you continue to push triangle, square, and circle to change your trick. Square flips the board. Triangle and circle will give you an alternate hidden combo. You can push circle to do a handstand and square to flip it over. If you want to get back on track, push it again. Circle, triangle, square. I continue to spin. Push those 3 buttons.
Yeah, some people are just diehard skilled, or born to be skilled at Pro Skater. I am not one of these people.
Tricks to be up, down, and left, right tricks. I can continue to do this infinitely, creating an incredibly large score. Spin my character around, continue to push the buttons up, down. Let's do another handstand.
Like, some of the guys that I played Underground with on X-Link Kai could probably pull off these tricks with ease. But that's probably because they played these games way more than I have.
I flip the board or kick it around, and I can take that up to 251 if I want. When you're finally ready to get out of it, you just hit X.
Imagine doing all that and your combo breaks. 6 million.
And that's my cool move, my tribute to Rodney Mullen. If you notice, there's a video in there where he does the same kind of tricks. I hope you can get a big score like that too.
My main guys in Pro Skater were Bucky Lasik, Jeff Rowley. I used a little bit of Bob Burnquist, but it was mostly between Bucky Lasik and Jeff Rowley. Honestly, I didn't even like the Draken demo that much to care about it, so we finally ready to play some demos. Yep, let's get to it. Aggressive inline, that's a good one. Don't care. Good lord, why? Knew that would be on here. You've gotta be kidding me! Woody Woodpecker. There was a Woody Woodpecker game on PS2. Alright. Just out of dumb curiosity. You are fucking kidding me. Okay, how many of you know about this game? Just before I even get into this, how many of you know what this game is? This is a very Japanese game. I cannot believe that there's a demo for this. Yeah, if you're looking for strange, obscure Japanese shit on PS2, this is a prime example. They've been playing the demo of fucking Mr. Mosquito. The fact that they have to have these warnings as well, too. Also, this is not a cheap game either. This might be like $100 game or so.
Do you like summer? Summer drives people crazy, and that makes them commit terrible acts.
Go on.
Take the tiny, harmless mosquito, for example. It doesn't have enough time to do much during its one precious short life. Yet with one swipe, a human can snatch such a priceless life away without a second's thought. I am sure that you may already realize that you are a mosquito.
Am I?
The insect that bites people and makes them feel itchy.
I don't know, I like
The
to play a little
insect
frisky, but that's going a little
creates
too
a
far.
trail of swollen bites. As a mosquito, there is something that you naturally have to do. You have to suck blood. You must suck and store away as much human blood as possible in order to survive the winter and see another spring. However, blood sucking is accompanied with much danger. It may
You're
come
going
as a
to love
surprise
this.
to you, but you're not welcome in the Yamada family home. Why on earth not? Because you make people feel itchy.
Why, because I'm
Bear
white?
in mind that they will go to great lengths to protect themselves from you. Nevertheless,
This intro dialogue is basically on par with Leonard Nimoy from Seaman explaining how this game works. You actually used to own this game? I apologize on your behalf. Why the fuck of all games did they include this? Like, this is the kind of people who would buy Tulip. Alright, let's get this over with.
okay.
See if I even remember how to do this.
I wish there was something fun to do. I wish there was something fun to do.
Yeah, and you know exactly how well I am at stealth games.
I wish there was something fun to do.
I'm about to die, aren't I? Oh, okay. I guess I'm not playing this. No, let me figure this out. I can get this down. Hold on. Yeah, it probably would have helped for me to remember the controls a bit. So I don't have to sit through that dialogue again. Alright, let's see. R1. Accelerate. I'm not leaving tonight until this game is done. Alright. L1, R1. Attack. Okay. Yeah, if I don't remember the controls within 30 seconds, then I'm probably not gonna do as well, so I needed to kind of screenshot it.
I'm so tired. Okay.
How this game also managed to get a sequel is also beyond me. Because yes, there actually was a second game. I don't think it was localized, but, you know, just the fact that there was 2 of them. Now let's get into it.
I don't know what to do.
Good.
I wish there was something fun to do.
How do I do this? R3 pure skin. Oh, you can't tell me I gotta go all the way up here.
I don't know what to do.
There we go.
I've had enough! You pest! Ugh. Oh well.
Oh, now I see. Ah! Okay. Where? Down there. Come on. Come on. Fuck, where is it?
I don't know what... I've had enough! Who do you think you are?
Come on. Let's play it.
Oh well.
Oh. Now I'm getting it. Oh, if only this was a simple series game.
How was it the first time? I hope you enjoyed your first blood suck.
Danny, how on earth did you enjoy this game?
What?
There's just one stage, right? Yeah, thank God. I guess that's what the PS2 is all about, right? Mother of God. Alright. Please, something more my speed. Which Woody Woodpecker game is this? Yeah, I don't remember a Woody Woodpecker game on PS2. I know there was Woody Woodpecker Racing on PS1. Oh, Escape from Buzz Buzzard Park. Well, I mean, it certainly beats the Universal Studios theme park game on GameCube. Not like this was really much in demand. Yeah, if I completely forgot that the game even existed, then what's the chance of me ever actually playing it? A couple decent games on here. Warcraft Cry I did hear about.
All of you who would listen, I have a tale to tell.
Who did this one?
And kings, a saga of dark
Warcraft Cry. Oh, this is San Diego Studio, so. From the guys who brought you MLB The Show. So this was Sony themselves. Did have a sequel, Rise of the Kasai. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where I heard about this game, but this one kind of intrigued me a little bit. We'll watch a couple more trailers. What a name. Again, this was definitely riding off the success of Pro Skater and Matt Hoffman, Dave Mirra, BMX. Everybody tried to cash in on the extreme sports games, and few and far between came successful. They did have good license music, though. When did Dave Mirra 2 come out? Yeah, Dave Mirra BMX 2 was already out. Oh, Dave Mirra BMX 2 was like launched over the GameCube. And Matt Hoffman BMX 2. They had Matt Hoffman BMX 1 on Dreamcast. Yeah, no, Matt Hoffman BMX 2 was out on PS2 and Xbox this summer too. Sugar Ray, Disturbed. I wouldn't really put Sugar Ray in a stream sports game, but Disturbed definitely. Alright. We're kind of winding down on time, so let's pick aggressive inline. And let me actually flip the... I know what the hell I'm doing somewhat. Alright. I have yet to add this game to my collection. I've heard it's one of the better games of this variety. I just haven't gotten to it myself yet. If you're looking for kind of a mix of Jet Set Radio and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, this game is more online. Is it actually just a tutorial? L1 R1. Part 2. Let's go through it. All right. What am I doing? ER2. Close enough. Oh, you have to hold R2. Let's see if I can. I've played most of Pro Skater already to understand how this works. Porn star grind. It would kind of suck if this entire demo was just me trying to do a tutorial. Oh my god, Jesus. Is this entire thing just a tutorial? Yeah, screw it then. I've got better games to play. Speaking of, I know we looked at a lot, and I know we're kind of running out of time. There's another one of these that also came out in the summer of 02 as well, kind of like the holiday one that I mentioned. So maybe we'll come back. Yeah, Skygunner was one that I definitely wanted to play at some point. Maybe we'll come back to this one at some point, but I kind of want to get to the last demo, disc before we shut down tonight. So we're running late. So one more demo disc, and I think we're only gonna play like one demo because there's not a whole lot on this one, from what I checked out. See if there's any good fall targets just to load up. It shouldn't have started so late. Alright. The last one I want to look at. This is kind of a common one. This is the Eidos demo disc. So a lot of these games, a lot of the demos, I think there's only like 4 on this one, but some of the ones that are on this demo disc were published by Eidos. So expect Tomb Raider, and you know exactly which Tomb Raider. But I know they mentioned there was a Time Splitters demo disc on one of these. Oh, good old infamous Eidos. Yeah, see, there's not much on here. So, RPG I've never heard of. My main game, this shitty game, and Hitman 2. I think like the only two playable ones are Time Splitters and Hitman 2. But let's just go through the line. Didn't we just see these guys? I'm probably, as we're going down the line of PS2 demo discs, never looked into it. Yeah, like as we're going down the line, there's gonna be a lot of trailers for RPGs that either I've never heard of or I might have only heard in passing that, you know, everybody else seems to have better information than I would. Gaia 2. So this is a sequel to Legend of Legaia. Okay, Legend of Legaia 1 I might have heard of. Yeah, I am not in any position to comment on any of these. The other one, on the other hand, I am well in a position to comment on. It's gonna be a shit show if we ever get to this game. If I somehow manage to hate myself so much that we ever, for God forbid, do a full playthrough of Angel of Darkness. I mean, this game is so bad. How do I even explain this game? You guys already know how bad this game is. The game was so bad they barely even showed it off at E302. We saw more of a Lara Croft booth babe than we actually did more of this actual game. This poor game fucking killed core design. Like, I think they made like 2 games after this and then completely shut down. Cradle of Life's box office performance was blamed because this game sucked. I don't blame them for being burned out after doing, I think they did like 5 Tomb Raider games in 5 years on PS1. But holy fuck, how did this game turn out this bad? This game is 20 years old this year. Good fucking riddance. Oh my god. You know what else is 20 years old this year? Mega Man X7. I think I'd actually rather have a more fun time playing Mega Man X7 than I will if I ever get to this one. Yeah, June 2003. Also, I don't think it's just me, but I can barely see the dark parts of this trailer. Granted, I'm playing this back on a CRT, but this game is fucking dark. Not like dark in content, but like dark as in I can barely fucking see it.
It's awful.
You already know how bad this game is. I think this one's been done to death, but should I even make it an incentive? Maybe at the end of the year. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the year how I'm feeling. And then, you know, Hitman 2. I was gonna play Hitman 2, but I think we're kind of low on time, so let's get into what I know. So, Time Splitters 2. For the 17th millionth time, this is my favorite FPS of all time. I have played this game so goddamn much over the last 20 years. You do not need to hear it from me for the 47 bajillionth time. Please go play this game. This game is god tier. I don't need to say it for the 17 bajillionth time. This is my favorite FPS, and I have never played a better FPS since. Interesting to see, though. It says that this is a February 2002 demo, so this was like 7-ish months before the last game, like 7 or 8 months. There have been a lot of prototypes and demos of this game that have leaked online. There was even one that I have on Xbox. Like one of the Xbox demo discs that I have has a demo of Time Splitters 2. So it'll be interesting to see. I think this is just the first level as well too, so it'll be interesting to see what exactly changed between, what was this, February 02 and when the game came out in October. This is gonna be the last demo that we're playing. I'm a little bit burned out right now. Yeah, cutscene just ends right there. Yeah, the cutscene went on for a little bit longer in the final game. Also, the text is a little bit different. They use a different font. I've noticed that too. I think some of these demos end when you get into the basement area, like where the time crystal is. Some of these end when you get to the top of the dam, so I think this one ends a little bit later. Alright, let's see. I'll be honest, yeah, it's already different. Okay. Things. I'll be honest, I'm so much more used to playing this game on GameCube and Xbox than... I don't even know if I've ever played Time Splitters 2 well enough on PlayStation 2. I have played Time Splitters 1 on PS2. So... let me just double check this. It should be hard for me to figure out the controls. Yeah, PS2 controls, for the most part for me with PS2 controls, I constantly have to look at the controller just to see what I'm doing. I don't really get that with most Xbox or GameCube games, because with PS2 controls, it's almost anything goes between each game. Yeah, I've already noticed the hub is a little bit different. Fortunately, because I've played this game 17 gajillion times, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Play. Not much is too different. Crouch L1.
Huh?
If I remember how to do everything again. Yeah, the gun's different, the mines are different. There's usually not a laser shot that goes in between places. Bitch. I can get through this. Not being very professional. Oh my god, this gun is completely different. Yeah, they completely remodeled the guns before the final game came out. Yeah, the guns do not look like this in the final game. Son of a bitch, I gotta go back. I'm always forgetting to blow up the dish at the beginning. Alright, come on. Come on. You gotta be shitting me. Do I have to do this again? I forgot to blow up the dish. I might just have to go around and get it later. Jeez, you think I've played this game before. Camera? Huh. Okay, time crystal located. I don't think it give you enough as much ammo as earlier versions. I think I'm also missing a file cabinet in the beginning of the game, so they should have all of them done before here. No mines. Time crystal should be down here. Time crystal is not down here, okay. Then... oh, I think I know where it is. Oh my god, please. Alright, that voice is new. Yep, they changed that in the final game. Okay, where the hell is this time crystal then? That's the time crystal? Holy shit, that was different. Yeah, it looks nothing. The time crystal's green in the final game. Why is it here?
This is illegal, you know.
I gotta get the hell out of here. Don't let the mutant survive. The top of the dam. Yeah, I gotta go back. Shit. In the first game, the only way to kill all the zombies and the mutants is actually to decapitate them. That's done, that's done. That's done. No anaconda cart. Flamethrow's a bit different. Yeah. That dish all the way over there. So. I'll catch it on the other side. Also, kind of fun Easter egg. The strategy guide, the Prima guide that I have for this game, is actually based on a earlier version of the game. So a lot of the content in the Prima guide is already outdated before what you can use in the game. I feel like that was the case. Yeah, see, now it's open. I feel like that was kind of the case for a lot of games, is that like they used it based on review builds versus final copies. Okay. There it is. Alright, I don't know if we can fight the helicopter, if they include that in this demo. Oh. Okay. Come on. Thank you. Yes. There she is. Oh, come on! That's a tease. You give me the helicopter segment and I don't get to fight it? Really? Man, that's a cock tease. Anyways, that's an early version of Time Splitters. I still don't even have a actual physical copy of Time Splitters. Like, the only Time Splitters game I have on PS2 physically is Time Splitters 1. I figured if I've already played it enough on GameCube and Xbox, despite how much I love this game, I don't think there's a reason for me to play it on. I did install the Japanese version of Time Splitters 2, the only Time Splitters game that did get released in Japan. So, yeah, I have the Japanese version of Time Splitters 2 on my PS2 because I tried to get some PS2 or get some Japanese PS2 games working on here. So, who knows? Maybe we'll explore the Japanese version if there's anything to explore. I think that's enough for tonight. It's almost midnight. I usually do not go this late. Plus, I got stuff I gotta do tomorrow. Hopefully that was a fun look into things. I know we're gonna look at Hitman, so maybe we'll go back to that summer demo if I've got time for another one next week. So I think, you know, the next set of demos we'll probably look at is on the PS1. Alright. Yeah, I'm tired. It's late. I went overtime. Let's get the hell out of here. It's probably just gonna be Kyle, right? God, I'm surprised I even got out of bed for this. I need to think. I really need to think about what else I can do on stream besides doing demo discs. I mean, demo discs are fun and all, but if it's just gonna be this, I've kind of got a little bit more. Oh, yeah, Tokyo Game Show. I forgot. I gotta do Tokyo Game Show this weekend too. So look forward to Tokyo Game Show 0102 on Saturday. If I have time on Saturday. Just if there's anybody else on at this point. Yeah, it doesn't really look like there's anybody else. So let's go see what Kyle's doing with PS1 stuff. Thanks so much, guys. I'll be floating around. Take care. Good night.